These are the plaintiffs, Brian and Bella Sears. Brian says the defendant's menace to society pit bull basically ate one of their puppies, and the defendant doesn't seem to care to do the right thing about it. He could have sold that puppy for a lot of money because it was a King Cavalier, and they're in demand right now. He's suing for $2,200, the value of his dead puppy. This is the defendant, Sandra Berg. She says she was in a fenced-in yard alone with her dog, and the plaintiff's dog caretaker allowed 2 puppies to enter, and a fight ensued. Her dog was the only dog listed on the lease in the building they live in. The plaintiff's puppies have no right using that yard, and she's sorry the drunk caretaker let him in there, but she's not responsible for what happened. She's accused of denying accountability.
All parties, please use your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiffs say the defendant's pit bull literally ate one of their puppies, but the defendant says the pups came into her yard. It's the case of what you eatin'.
Thanks, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Brian
ma'am.
Sears and Bella Sears, am I pronouncing your
Yes.
last name correctly? According to you folks, the defendant's dog the defendant's pit bull killed one of your puppies. Is that
Yes.
correct? Tell me how this happened. Were you present?
No.
No. Okay. Tell me what you understand to have happened.
The day of the incident, my male Cavalier King Charles Spaniel had eye surgery. He had an eye removed. And because of his tender condition, I let my caretaker take the 2 puppies out of the kennel area over to where she lived to keep them away from the other dog.
Okay. Who is your caretaker?
She does work for me. She lives in the same building with Sandra, and she basically takes care of
Of what?
she takes care of property.
Okay. So go ahead. How many dogs do you have?
Well, in the house there's 6.
Do you breed?
Yes.
Okay. So go on.
She took the 2 puppies to her place to care for them for the evening, and after about an hour or so, I get a call from her saying that one of the puppies was killed. And I went over there to the property, and the dog was dead. The police were called.
Under what circumstances did it happen? What did she tell you?
She said that she took the puppies out of the building to do their potty break, and as soon as they left the building, they were attacked.
And went where?
Went into the common walkway
Of the building.
of the building.
And is that common walkway inside of a fenced area?
Yes.
All right. And,
Excuse me, but the front is not fenced.
well, the part where the puppies were that she took them out to, was it fenced?
Yes.
Not all the way.
It was fenced in
It's
the
either
backyard.
fenced or it's not. Was she taking out 2 puppies without a
Right.
leash to an
Right.
area that was open?
Yes,
She was?
yes. There's a staircase that goes up and
Wow,
then
your
down.
caretaker needs to be talked to.
Thank you.
Okay, so go on.
So I received a call that one of the puppies.
You were there, right?
Yes.
What is it that, do you two have a, do you rent to her?
Yes.
She's your tenant?
She was.
Okay, she was your tenant. All right, but you also have a familial relationship?
Yes.
What's that?
She's my son's mother-in-law.
Oh, this is awkward.
Very.
Wow. Oh, what do the kids think? No one cares what the kids think?
No, I care what the kids think.
You do? Okay. All right, what happened?
Well, it was pretty much like he said. You know, I walked out early. I did send you a video of the property so you could see how it happened, and I could explain
Let's take a look
it.
at that. Hold on. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm coming up to the back door, and this is the side entrance to the property. And if you go in the door, up the steps to the left, like 5 steps, my apartment's on the right. If you go down the steps to the right is Sue's apartment.
Okay, that's great, but here's my question. When you come out with your dog's a pit bull?
Yes.
Okay, did you come out of this door or that back door?
No, that door right where I'm standing.
Okay, this door?
Yes.
Okay, so you come out with your pit bull and your pit bull's on a leash?
Yeah, I had it on a leash and a
And then you
harness
take your
at
pit
that
bull.
point.
You take your pit bull where?
Right
in
where
here?
I'm in, and you could see how the gate sticks without bricks. There was no reason to stack the cinder blocks in front of it, which she had been doing for a whole month, and I kept asking her why. because it stays open all by its own, but she kept repeatedly
Who's
putting...
she?
Sue.
Who's Sue, the caretaker?
Yes.
All right. So now you come in here with your pit bull, and
Yes.
there's a cinder block there, and what do?
It was so quiet, there was nothing going on, so I unhooked her, and each door I came out of, I says, I'm coming out with Molly, and nobody was answering. It was quiet as...
Okay, so you took the pit bull off the hook,
Right
and
there.
off the leash, and then what did you do with this gate?
I bent down to move the cinder blocks before I could even touch one. She opened the door and let the puppies out.
And
right
she
there.
came out of which door? The one
same
that's
door
up?
I did.
Oh, the same one you did?
Yeah, she came out of the basement, and my apartment is solid hardwood floor.
But there's no question that you were out with the dog first.
First.
And those puppies, okay. Those puppies don't normally stay there.
No.
Okay. So you are suing her for $2,200, which represents the loss of sale on the puppy that one of the puppies died, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm very sorry about that. Please explain to me what she did wrong.
So if your son's mother-in-law did something really super bad, would you sue?
No, of course not, because you would be destroying your relationship with your family member.
What if it were for $5,000?
No.
You know I can win this, don't you, eventually? Going inside the courtroom.
What she did wrong was not close that gate into the yard. What she did wrong was to have a dog not under her control. What she did wrong was that that dog was not trained and is a menace. It has bitten, it bit my chocolate lab 6 months previous to that.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Because here's what we're going to do now. We're going to talk about everything you did wrong. Number one, you gave 2 puppies to a caretaker who doesn't have the sense that God gave a billy goat. Because if you know and you're on notice that there's a bad pit bull that bit your lab before, then the last thing that you ought to do is send the puppies over to that place with her when she lets 2 puppies out without a leash, without checking to see if the bad pit bull is in its own castle at the time. Are you kidding me? This family rift over this?
Your Honor, I have...
Tell me how you don't think this is your fault for sending the puppies where a bad dog lives that you know is a bad dog. I'm saying bad dog. The dog's an animal. I know people think that they're like your sons and daughters. They're animals.
Your Honor?
So, no, wait, put your hand down and don't interrupt me. So here's what the issue is. The courts of law do not look and say, murderer, to the pit bull. What we do is we look at the conduct of the adults, the human beings that were involved. So let's analyze this a second. She's in her own home. She's in a fenced-in area. Okay? She's got her dog by a leash. She's got her dog in the dog's own place. She's bending over now to go ahead and then 2 puppies who don't belong there become pit bull chow because the person bringing them out isn't paying attention to who's already there and belongs there. I don't understand. This is a very unfortunate, sad thing that happened, but tell me how it's her fault. This is where the dog belongs, at the dog's house. The dog, this is predictable behavior, especially from a dog that apparently doesn't get along with other dogs.
Right.
Has it ever been a human?
No, it does. It loves people. It just doesn't love other dogs.
I'm all ears. You had your hand up and you wanted to interrupt me. Let's hear you first because she had her hand up. Go ahead.
Your Honor, I happen to have said exactly the same thing you said to my husband. Okay? I feel that the woman who was taking care of the puppies, they were so tiny that I would have never stepped out the door without them in my arms.
In your arms, exactly.
Exactly. And that's what my deal was that, and I told her that. I called her because I went to pick up the live one right after that.
Sure.
And I said, and she was, you could tell she had been drinking. She was in there screaming and
And actually, that's what you said, that she had a beer can in her hands. Who is she to you? Why isn't she fired?
She's nobody.
Is she fired?
She's a tenant also.
No, she was evicted also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he evicted her, and I evicted the other one.
Okay. Have you 2 talked since this?
Yes, me and Bella have.
Okay.
I mean, that's how I feel. I'm sorry.
No, how long have you 2 been married?
22 21 or 22 years.
How's it
And
going? Because it's going to be an interesting car ride home, I can tell you that.
No, we both agree.
You agree to
know-
disagree.
We agreed to disagree because
There you
he
go.
knows how strongly I feel about this. That I feel that the person who was taking care of the puppies was not responsible.
That's right. And if you know her and you know she's irresponsible and you know that she drinks and you know that she's taking the dogs over to where a dog that you know has
Right.
bitten other dogs and is territorial and is a pit bull in the past, then maybe, just maybe, you shouldn't have filed this lawsuit against your son's mother-in-law. That's kind of my thinking. But you know what? You two discuss it on the ride home. Okay? You should have just listened to your wife. If you haven't learned that in 21 years, I don't know what you're going to learn. Verdict for the defendant.
Thank you.
So the defendant prevails. The plaintiff is on his way out of the courtroom. You lost, unfortunately, not only a puppy, you lost a lawsuit. Maybe you learned something. After more than 20 years of marriage, you should listen to your wife. What do you think?
I think I should have left her at home.
I left her at home. No, you learned. You didn't learn to listen. You are going to have an interesting ride home.
Yeah.
What about the relationship between you guys? There's a family relationship between. Has it really hurt that? What do you think?
I think we can mend things, and we've already begun to mend things,
Yeah.
and everything will be okay.
Well, that's good. Do you feel the same way about that?
Yeah, but I don't feel like I got to present enough evidence on the character of the
The judge heard
defendant.
all she needed to hear.
I guess so.
That was it. Cut and dry. You lose.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Well, thank you.
Officer McIntosh has some documents you must sign. He's right out there waiting for you. Here comes the defendant now. You know, that really, again, unfortunate that this had to happen. A lot of people would wonder why you have a pit bull, because you know how many pit bull cases we get in this court?
She was a street rescue puppy, and we found her when
Yeah?
she was 4 months old, and that's why she thinks that she's supposed to be the only dog around.
You're okay? You're not afraid?
No. We've
All
had,
right.
she's 2.5. We've had her.
Well, are you going to be friends with them?
Oh, yes.
It's going to work out okay?
Yes.
Good enough.
My daughter and her son have been married for 17 years, so we
Okay.
can't break that
Good
up.
enough. All right. Thank you so much. Interesting case, Harvey. What do you think?
I mean, the problem here, the plaintiffs let the dog go into an area that had a known danger.